Good day, YouTubers. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all around the world. One of our last additions to the cutaway, sectional, half ship, quarter ship, mainmast. We're putting fairy lights in. I don't know if that's the real name, but what I've done is to start with, I drilled a hole in the bottom of the ship so that I can get the main feed wire in from underneath. And then I used the feed wire half from where the battery box is, half of the string on the lower section here. And then I drilled another hole up in there past that front rib behind these barrels here. And now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 LEDs to a dead end that I've got to string around in the top section here. So I got the bottom section almost done. I got to do a little more wire management up under there with I'm using hot glue to affix it to the ceiling in different areas. So I do have to do a little more wire management underneath. But as I bring it up from that lower deck to this middle deck, I'm sort of deciding as it comes up there where to route the wire, keeping in mind that I want to try to hide it as much as possible. So where it comes out back there behind them barrels, I probably want to try to get a dab of glue up in there just at the right spot. So that wire isn't going at 45 degrees across that view there. And that'll help pull it up on the lower deck also. So I need to get a dab of glue while I'm holding this on the underside of that beam. And that's the task, one area at a time. And what I'm doing is taking the hot glue gun and shooting a little dab of the hot glue on the end of this stick, because you can't reach up in there with this gun. And then while I'm holding the wire in place with another tool, whether it be another stick or tweezers or whatever, I'm applying the glue in the area that I think it needs it, so it'll stay up and affixed to the ceiling. Let me turn this lower, or turn the light off, and then turn the lights off in the shop. There is a little bit of ambient light coming in from outside, but this will help show what that light does to highlight the inside of the ship and all that detail work we did in there on that lower deck. So I think it's going to look pretty cool. Just got to do the upper deck now. The same process. You can see in the ceiling there how I just fished that wire round and round in different areas, trying to spread that light evenly throughout to give it this effect that what you'd say is a lantern or a candlelight or whatever they primarily used. Kerosene, whale oil. Yeah, whale oil lanterns. So let me continue on with this tedious, aggravating task. And while I'm up here, show you some of my other tasks. In the process of getting bids for our front carport extension, possibly, because our first few bids are pretty outrageous, but nowadays money is not as cheap as it used to be. So I have this table up in that front area of the carport with a whole bunch of plants on it and water spraying on it with the little micro head system to keep everything automatically watered, so I didn't have to worry about watering plants every day. And I've probably had this slab of wood for 15 years or so, and did an original sanding and filling in a wood putty or wood filler, sanding and wood filler, and trying to get a good thick coat of stain on it, and then polyurethane. But since that time, the age and the water and everything has degraded it pretty bad. So I refinished it again this week with a lot of love and care and sanding for several hours, and put a new coat of poly on there just to help the longevity of it. Nice slab of wood. So we're not sure where we're going to put it at yet. Another reason I had to bring it back here to do the job was the whole bottom area where it sits on the floor was rotted out from all the water. So I remade 2 new spreader feet that look just like the old ones, and got that one on the other side securely attached, and this one just has one screw into the gusset on the other side. So when we do set it in place and it has a tendency to rock or something, I can find that low or high spot and then adjust that board accordingly and screw it in. So that's why those screws are sticking out, because I know the floors aren't exactly flat, and then even if the floors were exactly flat, it's kind of hard to put a foot on like this and make it exactly flat when you don't have a way to create that flat surface. This rubber stuff out here, you know, under the lean-to of the shed is not flat enough to do a flat surface to attach those feet, so I know they'd be flat when I get it in the house or in the porch. So what are you up to? Yeah, one eye is red and one eye is white. Tomasi. Let's go check the eggs. A lot of clucking going on back here. Aha! Miss Hennypenny, what are you doing on there still? Oh, you are. I know you didn't lay that because this is one from our fuzzy neck chicken or bearded neck. Can't remember what kind that is. Big Red is a Rhode Island Red. Henny Penny you just saw. Gertrude and Myrtle are the black ones. Bluey. That's who it is. This is sort of a beige. I don't know what color you would call that nowadays. There's only 5,000 different color names. It's definitely not white. And it ain't brown. Miss Hennypenny is really broody. Even though she didn't lay that, she's sitting on that nest all day long, every day. I mean, when we go bring treats in there, I'll reach into the nesting box and gently get under her feet and lift her up and bring her out so that she can partake of the goodies. She's over in the sandbox now. That's Gertrude. Yeah, and there's the one that laid the egg. She's got little beard like sideburns sticking out, fluffy face. So let me play with these lights some more. When I do get the lights done, I gotta move this table first. Get it out of here. But I need to get the table saw out and get it set up out there in the front and rip these down and get the grooves cut in them for the glass. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet, but I'd like to try to get some of that started today. If I can figure out how to get this table where I'm going to put it. I always have problems. Okay, so got that slot cut for the glass, and did a test fit on the edge of the glass, and it fits in there, so that's gonna work, I think. So now we just got to cut our pieces to length with consideration of how we're going to miter the top. The bottom will just be a squared off end. I might chisel out the base for accepting the bottom. I don't know yet, but definitely got to be a regular end on it. But the top corner where this comes up and meets the top horizontal piece on three different pieces coming together at one point has to be mitered. So that's going to be a little fun figuring that out. But I was able to flip that plant table upside down so it wasn't resting on the new finish down there, and get it out on these sawhorses. So I could add more polyurethane to the bottom of these feet to help protect them from moisture intrusion. After tomorrow I'm going to do another coat on the end of them boards because they're really soaking it up. So I got a little bit of figuring to do and figure out how I'm going to do them miters, and hopefully this is 26 4 times and then 6 on one dimension and then like 16 or something on the other dimension, 13. But I gotta consider extra length for the miter up here in the top corners and make sure I lay that out properly for making them all joined together to look like a good corner. That stuff was a lot easier to work with because it's just a piece of corner round on the inside and a piece of outside corner on the outside. Easier to work with as far as cuts go. Okay, so we got her all strung up in there. You can stay in, instead of saying glued down, you got to say glued up. But it does light up everything below decks. Really nice. Now you can see all the mistakes. Inadequacies. Please write in the comments what you like, what you don't like. The display case for the San Francisco. Thanks for watching.